The ultimate goal of Tom Clancy's End War is to adapt the real-time strategy genre for home consoles. This is a rather noble goal. Although there have been some successful real-time strategy games on console before, shoving an entire keyboard's worth of buttons onto a controller is somewhat of a problem. And then you have the mouse issue. Analog sticks aren't the best option for selecting units while you're being hammered by 14 tanks, and thus enters End War with an innovation to fix this: voice commands. Now, the name Tom Clancy's End War may immediately make you think that there's some sprawling story with twists and turns, and spies with silly goggles over their eyes. If you're buying it for that reason, you'll be disappointed. It's really more of a general setup. America, Russia, and a smattering of United European nations are all fighting over oil reserves and a snazzy missile defense system that could upset the balance of power. And that's kinda it. The story is not quite there, and it barely plays into the single-player game at all. This is not a terrible decision, but it is disappointing that more wasn't done with it. The single-player game exists more as a mimic of the online persistent battle, the real meat of the game, than as a standalone game itself. However, the setup does throw you straight into the fighting, and this is one of the strong points of End War. Forget those cheap voice recognition programs you've struggled with over the years. The voice commands actually work pretty well.
You don't want to attack hostile 4?
It helps that each unit group is designated a number, and each capture point is given a call sign. Also, you don't have to talk like a robot for it to understand you.
Taking a lot of fire.
Unit 1, secure Alpha.
They're really hitting us.
Your typical goal is to capture points and then defend them. This is done by juggling your units and making sure that they match up against your enemy in a rock, paper, scissors kind of way. It's simple but effective. The voice command input is not perfect though. Occasionally it will completely misread you and send your units to their untimely demise.
Unit 6 camera.
Can't be done, sir.
Unit 6 camera.
Unit 3.
You can opt to use the controller and ignore voice commands entirely, but if you're playing with someone who's using their voice, you'll get destroyed. It's just so much faster and more efficient to speak your commands. This speedy control and management is what End War is all about. Seasoned RTS fans might scoff at the simplicity. The game basically streamlines all of the tech trees and micromanagement found in RTSs and focuses on combat. However, upgrades can be purchased for units between missions in the barracks. Basically, units who survive a mission can level up, and then upgrades can be bought for that level. However, if they blow up during a mission before they can be evacuated to safety, they will be reset to the first level. This adds some nice strategy and foresight to the mix, as well as a hook to keep playing and improving your squad. The actual gameplay is quite fun, and being able to command multiple units in quick succession is nice. This is not a game where you'll turtle and rush, instead it's about quick reactions in real time. To succeed against a top-tier opponent, you'll have to quickly move units into and out of the front lines. Unfortunately, pathfinding and collision detection in End War is not great, and there are a number of graphical issues such as pop-in and weak textures. I really like how the action is brought down to the battlefield using a camera, but that does make the graphical problems stand out more. However, you do get a sense of urgency when airstrikes and other special moves are launched against you. One thing that should be mentioned about this game is that it's all about the online multiplayer. The reason that there isn't any main story is that the online players are supposed to shape the conflict themselves. A person chooses one of the 3 similar sides and then engages in conflicts which are then tracked. In this way, you'll see factions quite literally take over the world as a particular side wins more and more matches, and the battle map is updated each day based on the prior day's results. This persistent world is a great idea, but there's oddly no clan support or any easy way to coordinate a side within the game. This ongoing battle essentially breaks down to just picking from a list of maps to fight on and then playing a match. Nonetheless, the game does shine during multiplayer, and up to 4 people can partake in a 2-on-2 match. If you get End War, do yourself a favor and play it online. End War is a cool new way of doing things that doesn't quite have that extra level of polish it needs. Undoubtedly, the voice commands and camera angle will be copied and improved by other games, but End War is a good glimpse at the future. It may not be the end of the RTS war, but it is certainly a good beginning on consoles. For the full written review, log on to IGN.com.